What is happening, everybody? Welcome back to my Dragon Quest leveling series. I'm at level 9 here. This is the Rocky Mountain Cave. I'm actually going to show off the entire Rocky Mountain Cave in this video. I'm not going to show every last bit of leveling that I've done because that would result in an extremely long video, because it takes to get from level 8 to 9, it took me about probably 35 minutes of grinding. So you can only imagine how much longer it would take for me to get from level 9 to 10. Yeah, so just take my word for it. What I am going to do is I'm going to show off the entirety of the Super Famicom version, just so I can present an actual comparison. And maybe I'll make them like the same length or something like that. So what I would do from levels 8 to 9 is just go ahead and grab the herb from the first floor and then leave the dungeon, come back and it respawns and stuff like that. But when you're at level 9 or 10, when you have better equipment and stuff like that, when you can actually stand up to the enemies on the second floor, then you can just go back in and out of the Rocky Mountain Cave and you can actually farm money that way, because you don't really fight enemies that routinely drop any more than, like, we'll say 20 or 30 gold at one time, and you get a chest that is, number one, it's like 100 and some change gold, and number two, it has the possibility of giving you a death necklace, which you can sell for I think like 1800 or 18 something gold, so you can keep finding those too. They respawn. So yeah, you could do that. So yeah, that's what I've been doing here. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to talk about a variety of a few subjects in my video log thing, I guess. First thing I want to talk about is wrestling. I watched Monday Night Raw. I was able to watch it on YouTube because it gets uploaded like a day after, so I don't have to worry about it. So I mean, and I'm usually bowling on Monday night, so I can't really watch it anymore. It was a decent show. Like how they're doing CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar. It's pretty cool. Rob Van Dam and Chris Jericho had an amazing match, a really good match. My opinion about the Money in the Bank winners: they have Randy Orton as the Money in the Bank winner for the Raw title, which I think is pretty cool, and then they have Damian Sandow, who has the Money in the Bank for the SmackDown title. Now, I kind of wanted Dean Ambrose to have it for the SmackDown title, but whatever. I was kind of expecting Rob Van Dam to win the one for the Raw title this way. He could win his last title, and then he could maybe retire at WrestleMania 30, but I guess, I don't know how long Rob Van Dam is signed on with WWE, so who knows. I didn't expect to see him at Raw. I was expecting maybe to see him at another pay-per-view or something like that. Time will tell if Rob Van Dam is going to be at a full-time schedule. I really don't know if he will be or not. It'd be nice if he was, and then he could do some matches with CM Punk or something like that, or maybe he could do some other matches with some other guys. Who knows? Let's see, what else happened on Monday Night Raw? So it was Brad Maddox's first night as the Raw General Manager, and I want to say something really funny here. I'm reminded very much of Eric Bischoff when I see Brad Maddox. He looks almost exactly like him. Which is really weird. I don't know what they're going to be doing with Vicky Guerrero. Looks like they're doing something with her. Who knows? During one segment, they had her on a megaphone, begging people to sign a petition that she made to get her back to being the general manager of Monday Night Raw. Who knows what they're going to do with her? Let's see. What else happened on Raw? Finally, Dolph Ziggler broke up with AJ Lee, and we saw that coming. I don't know who won the women's title, nor do I really care. But I didn't see it on AJ Lee, and they didn't really mention it at all in on Monday Night Raw, so who knows about that. Their obligatory women's match was kind of lame. It had one of the Funkadactyl women, whatever it was, I think Naomi or something like that, go up against one of the Bell Twins. And of course they were talking about that stupid show that's going to be on E that nobody's going to watch. And it's just going to be hilarious when that show gets like no views and it gets taken off the air after like 2 shows. And of course it's going to be forgotten and lost and forgotten. So it's not, no one's going to care about it. And they had a really piss poor match. It was kind of lame. And then they had I'm not really doing this in order, but whatever. One of the segments was a CM Punk segment where CM Punk goes out to the ring and he says, I want to cut the bullshit and I want Lesnar and Paul Heyman to come out here right now so I can whip your ass. And Paul Heyman comes out and he does this really long interview. He does like probably a good like 8 or 10 minute promo saying how, I was down with CM Punk since 2005 and I was the one who got him in the WWE, so he needs to treat me better. And when he turned up to the fans, he turned on me and stuff like that. And then Heyman goes on to say, oh, the real reason why I turned my back on you is because Brock Lesnar is just better. And that's why he didn't want CM Punk to win the Money in the Bank match. I don't know, it was really weird. But yeah, so then Brock Lesnar comes out and different than most of the other opponents that Lesnar just beats up, CM Punk actually puts up a decent fight against Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar just kicks CM Punk's ass anyways. So it's a pretty cool storyline that they're doing. I wish it would be for a title of some sort, maybe it could have been for like the SmackDown title or something like that. That would have been nice, wouldn't it? But who knows. Let's see, what else happened? Trying to remember. So Damien Sandow comes out and he's the Money in the Bank holder, and he goes up against Christian and Christian beats him. But Sandow goes, oh yeah, but still you're Money in the Bank winner, Damien Sandow. And it's just like the whole you're welcome thing. And then all of a sudden Cody Rhodes, his former tag team partner, runs up to the ring and beats up Damien Sandow, and Sandow escapes, and I guess they're turning Cody Rhodes good, which I guess is a decent. I guess it's a good thing. I don't know how over Cody Rhodes is. He's certainly not over in my eyes, just because he hasn't done anything really to get him over. In this day and age in wrestling, you really need to do something unprecedentedly awesome to get over, and Cody Rhodes hasn't done that yet. So jury's still out on that. It'd be cool to see, Rhodes versus Sandow. I don't know how fans would be into that kind of match. I don't really care about it myself, but it would give him something to do. Sheamus is still just sitting on his ass doing nothing. They did oh my god, the worst things they're doing now. So Sheamus has this commercial where this guy's like, I think like hiccuping or something like that. And this guy's like, I know what I need to do. I need to call 1-800-FELLA. Which is, that's Sheamus's little catchphrase, fella. Like just like Hulk Hogan with brother, Sheamus says fella, and it's just, why do they need to do that? Like, can they not do that? Because it's fucking weak, okay? Like, they don't need to do that. They really don't, okay? It's awful. I saw the commercial, I was just like, I facepalmed and I shook my head, and I was just like, why? Why? Why are they gonna do that? Okay. Unbelievable. So, yeah. So anyways, towards the end of the night, they kept teasing about how, you know, the opening segment, let me just go back to the opening segment. Opening segment is Brad Maddox, you know, oh, it's my first day as GM, we're gonna do things right. And he said, I'm gonna do something unprecedented. I'm not gonna do a #1 contenders match or anything like that. I'm gonna have John Cena named the #1 contender for SummerSlam. And I guessed exactly what he was gonna do, and that would be have Daniel Bryan. But we'll get to that later. And Randy Orton comes out and he says, well, it doesn't matter who it is, I'm gonna cash this Money in the Bank in whenever I see fit, so John Cena may not even have the title, you know what I mean? And whatever. And throughout the show, you know, John Cena is saying, oh, you know, he's talking to Khali in Punjabi for some reason. Like they were speaking Punjabi to each other, really weird. And at the end of the night, John Cena comes out and he's like, I know I should be picking the #1 contender, but I want the fans to pick the #1 contender. And guess who was doing yes chants the whole night? The fans were. Oh-ho! So, yeah. So, John Cena says, should it be Ryback? Should it be Randy Orton? Should it be Alberto Del Rio? Should it be some other guys that he just mentions? And then he says, you know what? I'm picking Daniel Bryan. He just kind of says it just like that. He's like, this following individual has deserved the title match for a while. It's Daniel Bryan. And then Daniel Bryan comes out and he does his little yes chants, and the show ends on a really cool note with Daniel Bryan friggin' getting the whole crowd in unison to chant yes, yes, yes. So Daniel Bryan is extremely over with WWE's fans, and I think WWE is finally taking notice to that, and they're finally saying, great, you know, we need to put Daniel Bryan in some high caliber matches, maybe have him win a title and keep it for a while. You know, that'd be great. You know, don't have some dork like Sheamus beat him in 40 seconds, which I thought was ridiculous. I don't know why they did that. I don't know what Daniel Bryan did at WrestleMania 28 to deserve that, but oh my god. Anyways, so this is now, that just gave you a sample of what I needed to do to get to level 10. Okay, this is me at level 8 in the Super Famicom version, Dragon Quest 1. I'm not gonna go through. I don't go through the Rocky Mountain Cave in this because the treasures don't respawn there. So yeah, not necessary to do that. I fight around Cole because these enemies give pretty much the same XP as they would in the second floor of the Rocky Mountain Cave. So probably gonna take the same amount of time here. So yeah. Anyways, let's see. That's about all I have to say for Raw. It was a pretty blah show. I mean, whatever. Nothing much going on. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about the Wyatt family. So they come out and Bray Wyatt / Husky Harris, whatever you want to call him, actually speaks, and he cuts a very like Raven-esque kind of promo. I think they're kind of trying to recreate the Raven character with Bray Wyatt. I know. Well, like I'm definitely reminded of the Flock when I see the Wyatt family. You know, like Bray Wyatt is like kind of like the puppet master, and you know the other two guys are like Stevie Richards and who else was in the Flock? The Blue Meanie. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's right. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. Kind of looks like that. I don't know. But I like the Wyatt family, and it's a pretty entertaining thing to see. You know, like their little promos that they do. Bray Wyatt cuts a good promo. He does a good interview. He didn't do that before, but whatever. So yeah, and then they beat up R-Truth this week. So, and they were saying like Kane, like follow the buzzards, blah blah blah, whatever. So it's quite apparent that they're gonna do a thing with Kane, and you know whatever happens there happens. Mark Henry came out and he said, oh, you know, John Cena deserves to be champion because he really did beat me, but I want a chance to beat him again. Then the Shield comes out and beats the, oh my god, they just beat the holy bejesus out of Mark Henry. I did not expect Mark Henry to get his ass beat the way he got his ass beat on Monday Night Raw. That was ridiculous. So yeah, so that's my little recap of Monday Night Raw. One thing I heard is that apparently what's his name, Luke Gallows left TNA Wrestling. Apparently he got fired from TNA Wrestling. Only thing I have to say about that is like, wow, way to put him in like 2 matches in 1 year, you idiots. You had something great on your hands, and now he's probably just gonna either go back to WWE or just do nothing, which is crying fucking shame. But whatever. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, that's all I have for wrestling. I'm hoping that Daniel Bryan gets a really good push and maybe he'll win a title. Someone actually said in the comment section of the show I was watching, they were saying, oh, you know, like Daniel Bryan should win the title and then Randy Orton should cash in the Money in the Bank, turning him bad guy. And what I really have to say about that is Randy Orton, he's not going to get what he wants for a while because he's on 2 strikes and he's too big a risk for WWE. Okay, that's what they did. That's what happened with Jeff Hardy. You know, they were going to have Jeff Hardy, you know, win the title for a while. You know what I mean? They were gonna push him to Triple H's level. You know what I mean? They were gonna have him do that, but he was way too big of a risk, and it just took one drug charge for WWE to be like, okay, you're fired, and then there you go. Either that or his contract ran out. I don't really remember what happened in 2010 with Jeff Hardy. I just think his contract ran out, but who knows? But yeah, so WWE, they're not going to do anything with Randy Orton until Randy Orton can prove that he's going to stay out of trouble and he's not going to do anything stupid, and then maybe he'll get another title run, but who knows? He's fairly young. He still has a while to go before he gets too old to work anymore. So he's not going to go anywhere, but he's not going to go anywhere. He's not going to get pushed. He really isn't. He'll cash in the Money in the Bank and he'll win the title, and then he'll probably like drop it in like the next pay-per-view or something like that. And then he'll be right back down doing nothing. You know what I mean? So whatever. What do I think they're going to do with Sandow with him winning the him winning the Money in the Bank for the SmackDown title? I really don't know when he's gonna cash it in. I mean, if he's a bad guy, he's probably gonna want to cash it in on a good guy, but who knows? You know what I mean? Today, I mean, in WWE today, like anything really goes. I mean, we have bad guy versus bad guy all the time. I mean, it's ridiculous. So yeah. Anyways, now I'm done with wrestling. What I'm gonna talk about now is, I've been resisting the temptation to talk about it, but I'm going to buckle under pressure and talk about the Zimmerman thing. Yes, everybody knows now that the Zimmerman trial, I guess, was really crazy and stupid, and, you know, and Zimmerman was found not guilty, and that's a big travesty and all that good stuff. But the thing is, man, I could go on and on about how this was like a really awful thing to happen, and how, you know, racism still exists, and I don't need to say I don't need to say what's been said already. What I do want to say is that for anybody who is taking this way too seriously, you really need to stop, okay? And I don't mean to sound like somebody who's lost hope, but good God, like, I understand you have like a lot of opinions about this, and it's led to a big shitstorm. I mean, like, I'll go on Facebook and everyone on my friends list is posting all these little news factoids, like the most popular ones being like I guess on the same day that Martin was shot down, that some 17-year-old white guy was shot down by a older black man, and it didn't even get reported on local news. He was just like in the obituary, you know what I mean? And people are just trying to, like, all of a sudden people are trying to think that they're doing great for, their community or society or whatever by expressing their opinion on the Zimmerman trial, you know what I mean? And everyone's trying to become like pretty much like an armchair social commentator, which you oh my God, like, you're missing the point. Because I'm just gonna rant about news in general, okay? The news is it's a goddamn drug. Okay, I'm just not gonna lie. It's more addictive than caffeine. It's more addictive than crack cocaine. Okay, and some of these people are just so addicted to the media and the news that they can't stop. That literally their opinions just reflect on someone else, or just someone else's opinions. Okay, it takes a strong person to look at an event like the Zimmerman trial and just say, well, that sucked, but I'm gonna move on. Yeah, it sucked. It was awful. It pretty much makes murder legal in Florida if you have the right legal team and if you're the right color. You know what I mean? And I'm just gonna move on. Like, why worry about upholding, good standards or something, good beliefs or whatever, or exposing awful truths, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Just make people happy. Make the people closest to you happy. Don't worry the people closest to you. Don't make them worried. Don't be like that. Don't do stupid shit, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Everything will be okay, and you'll be all right. But these people want to make such a big thing, such a big deal about things that do not directly affect them. Like, how? I want to ask all the viewers one question. How does the Zimmerman trial affect you? It doesn't matter what race you are. How does it affect you? Did you know either of the two people involved? No, you didn't. You didn't. You did not know the two people involved, so why should you care so much? Is it because maybe you are missing something? Maybe you have some hole in your soul that you need to just fill? You need to just fill with shitstorm media? That probably could be the case. A lot of people can't really look deep down inside themselves and figure out whether or not they're doing the right thing or not. So they want to rely on the news or media and stuff like that to kind of give them direction. You know what I mean? I don't need anything to give me direction. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know what's right. I know what's wrong. I know that if I'm in a position where I need to report a criminal or someone doing something stupid, that I just call the police, let the authorities handle it, because those are the ones who are trained to do such things. Okay? I run into this a lot in my job. I'll see some homeless guy who's like creeping out girls, or one of them grabbed the girl's behind, and she ran into the store. She's like, I can't go back to my car because this guy won't leave me alone. So I said, okay, let me handle this. I'm just gonna call the police on this guy, and then that's it. And that's all I can do. There's nothing else you can do about that. There is nothing else you can do about that. You can only do what you are capable of doing. You cannot save the world. But everyone likes to think that they have to save the world because that's the amount of stress that's been put on us as of late, or not as of late, but like in this generation. You know what I mean? We're pretty much taught to believe that we need to think as if we're trying to save lives, we need to try and change the world, but it just starts with one. Anyone who's watched the movie Pay It Forward, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm gonna end this right here because I'm about to end this leveling session, and I'll come back with the rest of level 9 with the SNES or the Super Famicom version. So just hang on tight. Okay, got a few more minutes here, so just gotta talk a little bit more about the whole Zimmerman thing. I mean, by the way, I'm probably gonna be okay. Before I go into that, so for the rest of level 9 in Dragon Quest for the Super Famicom version, I actually go through the Rocky Mountain Caves. So, yeah, if you didn't watch it in the last video, then you're gonna watch it now. So yeah. Anyways, like I was saying, in the Zimmerman thing, we look at events like this and we just think, like, honestly, the first thing in your mind, I know the first thing in my mind whenever I used to be so emotionally attached to events like that was, what can I do? You know what I mean? What can I do to prevent stuff like this from happening? And I honestly think that's the mindset that is thrust upon a lot of people nowadays. You know what I mean? And honestly, the more you think about this kind of stuff, the more overwhelmed you get, and the more of a waste of time it is. Because I'll give you an example. There's this Facebook friend of mine, and she's really cool. She's a cool person. I haven't really met her in person too much, just because she's from South Florida and I'm Tallahassee, so can't really work out too well. So, but she posts just non-stop, just like all these events, all these things, all these little facts that or not even facts, just like just random little media clips of stuff that happens to people, and I just go to myself, it makes me want to say, what is the damn point? Like, can you do anything about this? Did this affect you directly in any way? And of course people can argue, oh yeah, well of course it affects me directly because I'm against this kind of stuff, or the theme behind the negative event, you know what I mean? Like the Zimmerman thing, everyone wants to say that, oh, now we're racists, you know what I mean? Like, I understand that it's hard to just walk away from those kind of events and move on with your life, because we feel obligated to do something about it, to take a stand and rise up and fight, you know what I mean? But you can't do that anymore. You can't. There's too much protection. We're too obsessed with safety, and it's almost like, it's funny because I was like looking up George Carlin stuff, because he's oh my god, like everything that I know from all I've learned in my teenage and most of my adolescent life, I learned from George Carlin. I'm not gonna lie, that's because the guy makes a total sense. And he said in I think a radio interview that I pulled up of him, that I should have added to my favorites, but I didn't, but whatever. He said that the only way to really inflect positive change on at least the United States is to have a bloody revolution, because there's no way that that you can just make everybody listen to something, okay? There really is. And to those who, are clinging and clutching to that kind of idea, where, where we're gonna take a stand and fight all these atrocities that have happened. What people don't understand is that one person's atrocity is another person's victory. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's a group of people that are celebrating the fact that Zimmerman got off. You know what I mean? That he's a free man. You know what I mean? But of course, there's others who think it's, one of the worst things to happen, since September 11th, which is just as absurd. You know what I mean? Like, since no one universally agrees anymore, only thing that really can create a loud enough noise really would be a bloody revolution. But who's going to have the balls to start a bloody revolution? You'd have to sacrifice everything in your personal life. I have nothing really going for me. I just have a few buddies and my mom, and that's about it. Everyone else, all my other family's in Israel, and all that other good stuff. And even I wouldn't be able to sacrifice everything necessary to start a bloody revolution, okay? So, that's just the state of things. The best thing that anyone can do whenever responding to something like the Zimmerman thing is to just move the fuck on. Move on. Try to make someone in your life happy. Try to make someone in your life proud. And just don't do stupid shit. I can't preach that enough. I cannot preach it enough that you shouldn't do stupid shit. To your friends, to your family, to your teachers, to your professors, to your boss, to anybody who is even like remotely important in your life. Okay, like these people get into trouble and they go to prison or they get put on trial for doing stupid things because they don't follow this kind of advice. Okay. Because they think they could just save the world, and they think that they know best, and they think that they know what they just want to be like superheroes, and when they realize that they can't, they wind up doing stupid shit. Or, and in many cases even worse, they become addicted to the media and the news and all that good stuff that we see so much in our society, especially on Facebook. Oh my God, I've seen that on Facebook so much. And I never post that kind of stuff. I'll never share that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, social networking has just gotten awful with the posting of really horrible events that shouldn't have happened and stuff like that. So that's my little opinion of it. I'm about to level up to 10 in a few seconds, so yeah, there we go. Enjoy that. So I'm just going to let you watch that, and I've ended this session. Sorry I couldn't get all of Dragon Quest 1 for the NES, but I don't think you would have wanted to see that anyways, because then it would have made this video way longer than it should have been. Peace.